Hello, hello, hello. How are we all doing?
We are fantastic. Better late than never.
Thursday.
Yes, I think my camera's a little delayed, but it's okay. We're going to make it work. This is good. My audio seems to be fantastic, and that's what matters here. Guys, episode 57, 58, I don't know, somewhere around there.
I think it's 57. Because I looked at it because I was just kind of curious because episode 14. Not that I'm like, self-conscious or counting any things. So I was just seeing like how far it took to come back on again, So
yeah, no big deal, right? No big deal. Well, Chris, thank you for joining us again.
Appreciate you guys inviting me on.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I don't think we got to the important questions the first time around, so I just want to start with the heavy hitters. Is Chris short for Christopher?
Yes, Chris is short for Christopher. I don't think I've ever came across a person named just Chris unless it was a female.
Yeah.
Obviously, that'd be weird if someone named their child Christopher and it was a female.
Well, there is a boy named Sue, but that's a whole nother topic.
Hey. You don't get to make that comment all the time.
Christopher.
Okay. Now, would you be upset if from here on hencefortheth, I referred to you only as Christopher? You can say no. It's okay.
Well, that's fine. I mean, obviously, my mom thought long and hard about the name Christopher. And, I believe, if I recollect correctly, that she enjoyed Christopher Reeves from Superman. And
maybe we don't want to call you Christopher.
So,
well, you're not supposed to use his full Christian name unless he's in trouble. Yeah. That's the rule.
Well, I really like the formal version of people's names. Like I have a friend, Matthew, and literally the only person on the planet that calls him Matthew is me. His own mother's like, why do you call him Matthew? I'm like, you named him that. She's like, yeah, but I really prefer Matt. It's like, but here we are.
That's like, okay, so my son's his name's Desmond, and we usually call him Des. So
right. Of course.
Is there a point that I should have just named him Des and not Desmond? Like, I chopped it off there. I will say in 6th grade, I did go by Christopher because I hadn't went by Christopher before.
Yeah.
And writing that out every single time
on
the paper.
It's a lot.
So
yeah. No, that's fair.
And then in middle school, I can't remember if it was 7th or 8th grade. I have to stop and think about it. I went by Topher because there was like way too many Chris's. Oh, and there's Zariah.
Okay. Hello.
Nerf gun. There you go.
So I feel like we're all at a point now we can appreciate that Topher clearly is like a snobby white dude that desperately wants to invest in. And while you do very much so look like you fit the bill perfectly as the snobby white dude.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
I want to buy all of your pythons.
Yeah. Like Topher definitely is a trust fund kid. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, Topher's definitely like, a trust fund kid that only drinks Bud Light Platinum. If you were at the show this weekend, you would know the callback there. The copious amounts of Bud Light Platinums that were hammered behind the Chimera booth. Some might say it was excessive. We had a good time.
I just thought you were drinking.
That's literally it. Just
hey man, thank you for those delicious crab rangoons I stole and a few of those Korean like beef
short ribs. Yeah, that was good stuff, right?
Fire. Yes.
Yeah, that's what Chimera brings to the table. We don't sell snakes, but we bring Chinese food.
Hey, there you go. That's what matters. Taking care of the people.
All right, so did we decide, is Christopher okay or no? I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Perfect. Christopher.
Yeah,
I like it so much.
Go for it. When you call me Chris, I won't answer.
Even better. We need to really train me. Yeah. I need a James in my life so I can call them Jimothy. I need that.
You're so weird.
Calm down, Christopher.
Dude, we're already getting called out in the comments, by the way, for not having the short shorts for setup.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna get to Tinley in a few minutes, guys. We're talking about important topics like Christopher's Christian name. Okay.
Which Patrick Fur? Is that your name?
My actual name is Henry Patrick. That's my actual first name.
Why don't you go by Henry?
No, it's Henry Patrick. That's the first name.
Oh, Henry.
It's like Ricky
Patrick
Bobby.
It's like Ricky Bobby.
First name.
Yeah, my first name is Henry Pat. Well,
is your middle name like 3 names?
It's Reese. That's funny what you did. We're real fast since we've already gone down this rabbit trail. I grew up my entire life being told Henry Patrick was my first name. Okay. It's a family thing. There's lots of Henry somethings. So
okay.
I have gone my whole life, filled out all of my social security stuff. I had a DOD security clearance as Henry Patrick, literally everything in my life. So I was going to fill out some paperwork for some Cherokee tribe stuff. And I had to have my birth certificate. And I was like, oh, Mom, can you just, send me the birth certificate? And she's like, yeah. So she sent me my original long form Texas birth certificate. And when I get it, I look at it and I was like, first time I've literally ever looked at my birth certificate. And I said, Mom, what's my name? I'm on the phone. I call her. I'm like, what's my name? She said, Henry Patrick. And I was like, but is it? And she's like, yes, your first name is Henry Patrick. Your middle name is Reese. And your last name is now McKnight. Why? And I was like, well, on the birth certificate, it says my first name is Henry and my middle name is Patrick Reese. And I said, she's like, no, it's not. That's not correct. So I send her a picture. She's like, oh my God, your grandmother. So my grandmother hated my granddad and decided it would be a really fun trick to change my name from Henry Patrick to just Henry. And so I've gone through my whole life as a lie thinking Henry Patrick was my first name. That's what I got for you.
So then did the Indians accept you or reject you?
Well, we were all good. I was accepted. I was actually having to formally change. So my dad adopted me, and so we had to change it from Shuley to McKnight, and so it really didn't matter as much, but it was just, eye awakening that or eye opening. So
can I call you like HBR?
You can call me whatever the fuck you want. It's fine.
Oh.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Use our one swear word for the whole night. Did you just blow it in the first like 7 minutes?
Yeah, probably. Honestly, it's a miracle it hasn't happened sooner.
That's a lot to write in school. Henry Patrick Reese Shuley.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
When you were in kindergarten, or like when you learned to write your name, were you writing Henry Patrick, or what were you?
No, Patrick. So all of the Henry somethings go by the second name. It's a very weird thing. So yeah, so we all go by our second name, like the second name in the first name. But yeah, you're welcome, guys, to the overcomplications.
I was gonna say this is a real deep dive on your name.
I love family lore. This is awesome.
Yeah, the etymology of the family lore of the Shuley and McKnight clan.
Honestly, I'm kind of concerned what your best and worst of the week is if this is what we're starting with. So
you know what? We can roll right into that. Christopher.
Yes.
Best and worst of the week.
Let's see. Let's start with the worst and get that out of the way. It's been since I've got Tinley was amazing, but we'll get there later.
Yeah.
But from the moment I got home and went to sleep and woke up, it's been not so great.
I'm sorry, bud.
So if you've been on my Instagram or anything like that, my black dragon Arlie, I found him non-responsive. Not sure exactly as to what the case was. He likes to hide behind like his pool and stuff like that. And so didn't think anything of it. Kind of messed with him, poked my head around and go, oh, you're definitely not okay.
Oh, man.
So that kind of sucked just because I'd put so much time and effort to make him a really cool animal for educational presentations and events and stuff like that, and something I could take to local shows and enjoy that part of it. So that really sucked. And then just some personal stuff like my mom's not doing well on that part of it, and so the punches keep on rolling, kind of. So
I'm sorry, bud.
Dealing on that part, but I would say like the best part of my week, the third wheel to this show, Mr. Schroeder here, if he's still in the comments.
Yeah, he's trolling in the comments still.
He came down and we ran around. Didn't run around too much yesterday, but we went to eat and talk some All-American Reptile Plant Expo plans and stuff like that, because there's one coming to Kansas City here in a couple months.
Yeah.
And then we went out and kind of hit some places again that we've talked to previously in the past couple months, and put out a few yard signs and game plans and stuff. So that's real exciting, being involved with that locally to kind of help that kind of take flight. And I'm excited for all the fun stuff that's going to happen here in the coming months and how that show kind of grows on that part. So it was really fun. And then when you sent the invite out to be on here, I was like, at first I was like, I'm kind of busy at a party beforehand and just things in the week were not going well.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I I need this. Let's do this. Let's make it happen. So yeah, sorry that was long winded, but yeah, that's my best and worst of the week.
I love it.
You know, we love that you're here. So
yeah, we love that you're here, and that's why we graced you with the etymology of my name. So you're welcome.
Buddy. A refund.
A refund. Joke's on you, buddy. Joke's on you. There are no refunds.
Dr. Henry Patrick paging Dr. Henry. That sounds really good, actually. You know, maybe you are a doctor.
Is that what sealed the deal right there?
Only at Chili's, not on an airplane.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
You got a doctor in here?
Chase defer.
Yeah. Sorry. Best of the week. Had a doctor's appointment today. Checkup on my throat since thyroid removal, and everything was all good. It was kind of funny because when he's kind of giving me the evaluation and kind of going over everything, and I'm getting like scoped and all that fun stuff, I always like to ask like, so what are you looking for? Because he always looks at my ears, kind of everything. He's like, well, I am an ENT, so it's kind of like a full service oil change. Like, I'm just gonna go ahead and peek at everything, make sure everything's good. I'm like, oh, I got you. Well, that's great. That I should walk out of here feeling even better that everything's perfect. So
yes,
yeah, that was the highlight. I think the worst part of the week was Molly sending a faulty links for the show tonight, making us late.
Oh, buddy,
it was a little tricky.
Yeah,
buddy, you jumped in the driver's seat of the bus and absolutely ran over Canova's newest employee.
You better bet, man.
Well done. Well done. In all the true spirit of the Canova way. I love it. I love it.
Let her take your parking spot at work, by the way.
It's too late. It's too late.
Don't let her get
She already took the sign down.
Yeah, she took the sign down. It's really because originally it just said patent parking, and she just assumed that meant, the best patent.
Gosh, that's me.
Oh, the red carpet's out for me.
Yeah, immediately. Immediately. I love it. All right, best and worst of the week. I'm gonna go ahead and say worst. I'm gonna, you know what? In honor of Molly, the worst of the week is One Direction and Liam. Whatever happened, whether he died or how it happened. Let's just do that. That's probably the worst. That's sad days. A lot of people's childhood, died. So that's very sad.
Dark way to put it.
Look, I get it. Like, I was talking to Molly today about it. It's like, for kids that grew up loving the NBA, when Kobe died in 2020, like that was just a big part of our childhood that died, right? It was like,
oh, definitely.
And I was
exactly where I was at and what was going on in those moments.
Me as well, man. My mom calls me and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, I mean, I'm in the rat room with Andre, so no, but next question, please. and then she's like, "You haven't heard yet." And I was like, "Oh no, what?" Like, and I thought it was something with the family. And then she told me, and it was just, it was devastating. It was like, and part of it too, like you're angry, not just because like your childhood, right? But also because like the things you were looking toward and looking forward to in the future. Like I was so excited to see like Get Off My Lawn, Kobe, because we all knew it was coming. Like it was going to be so great.
Yeah, no, or just the fact like how him and his daughter had this close bond.
Oh my God, he was just
stuff, and
it was incredible, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. Like
I
was interested to see would he ever work his way into like ownership or would he how would that play out, in those cases and stuff.
I'm so thankful. If you haven't watched it, guys, Kobe was involved in like an animated short called Dear Basketball, or like a love letter to basketball. It's like the coolest thing ever. Like it's so great. But like, so while I don't have any connection whatsoever to One Direction, mainly because I wasn't a 13-year-old female during their reign, I understand that, like, the empathy that goes with that. So that is sad. Best of the week. I'm going to say Tinley, but also like we're moving Andre out of the facility today and tomorrow. And I don't want that to sound like the best is getting Andre the fuck out, but like the best is getting Andre the fuck out. But not because I'm upset with him, but because, we're both moving on to new things, and that's exciting. So
it's go time. It's a new frontier.
Yeah, it's go time. And today was a very productive day for both of us. So I think that's the best of the week, is things more or less went really smoothly on the first day of the move. So that's a win. Yeah,
Is that a penguin over your right shoulder?
Oddly enough, no. It's it's the letter M.
Oh, okay.
That just happens to be at the perfect shadow. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry to sidetrack.
Do you want it to be a penguin?
Penguins are pretty cool, man.
It's specifically a gay penguin that got married at the St. Louis Zoo.
The St. Louis Zoo is free. Wow. I like the St. Louis Zoo.
Weird backstory, but okay.
weird.
Let me guess. One's Henry and one's Patrick.
Yes, there it is. Well done, sir.
I also saw penguins today. We ended
Did
up going
you?
To the zoo. Yeah, we went to the Indy Zoo before my doctor's appointment.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's what Abby wanted to do. She's like, "Oh, we could just go up there really early," and I'm like, "Okay."
How would you rate the zoo?
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
So
next topic. Where's the Chase this week? The Indy Zoo.
So it's like a Wisconsin 3. I got you.
Oh man, it was expensive and just not really well set up. Like they definitely invested more in kind of the modern art look for a lot of things to have like parties and stuff at instead of really good animal exhibits and a lot of animals. It was really kind of small.
So it was a bad Tinder date.
They're kind of landlocked, being in the middle of Indy. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they're right across the street from Lucas Oil Stadium, so they don't have any room to expand.
Wow.
So it's kind of like the collection's stuck. Yeah,
it's tough.
No, I haven't been to Indy, but like I know where that is geographically, and where the stadium is from looking at a map and stuff like that. Wow, I didn't know the zoo was like right there.
Yeah, right there. Yep. Interesting.
Yeah. Louisville Zoo is probably one of my favorites. Like overall, Louisville Zoo.
Christopher,
how do you say Louisville, Patrick? Is it Louisville or is it Louisville?
Louisville.
See, I say Louisville too, but you say
Louisville.
Well, I hear both.
I don't know what we can't do the etymology of this either, guys. We get one.
Can we talk about Tinley?
We're gonna get there.
Weekend.
We're gonna get there in a minute, Christopher.
We already denied people the shorts.
Okay, let's just go ahead and start there with an apology. Guys, I forgot. I completely forgot that we did this whole bit that Chase and I were going to wear juicy shorts. I apologize. I'd like to say that it was on purpose.
I should have wore shorts.
I would say we'll do it in March, but we all are painfully aware that unless somebody reminds us, it's not going to happen.
That's so true.
Yeah, like if y'all remind us, there's like a 98% chance we show up to like Friday, maybe Saturday morning with juicy shorts on. The biggest,
maybe
it was also the warmest October
Tinley in Dallas. I like that, by the way. I would go for more of those.
More of what?
Warm October.
October Tinley. Yeah,
that's usually the thing. It was the perfect October, and now when we
usually it's like 40-mile-an-hour winds.
We're gonna be frozen. Yeah.
It was perfect for that. I realize it. I'm sorry. We'll do better. Chase, is Justin going to let you wear juicy shorts?
Well, that's the nice thing. Fridays are just me. So,
yeah, but like Saturday morning, because that's when a lot of the people came by asking.
We could class it up and have like team shorts, where they just say our names on the back.
Let me know the amount of money it'll take to get a pair of short shorts on Justin that say Justin across his ass. Let me know the money.
At all. He's not going to be there Friday.
What about Saturday? See, I'm trying to get Saturday.
Oh, homie, that's not happening.
Well, I tried.
That's a Bob Boo lane.
That's a Bob Boo. But I always looked at Justin as the white Bob Boo, or maybe Bob Boo as the Asian Justin. They both look so similar. Same height, same build. They're basically the same person.
Very accurate.
I get him confused all the time. Oh, see? Exactly.
Well done, guys. Well done. Yeah. All right. So March Tinley, Christopher is now involved. Christopher is here. Henry Patrick's going to do it. We're going to get juicy shorts. Is that it?
Sure. Why not?
That's
it. My juicy.
It's like a 2008 spring break in
oh God, I miss
Fort Lauderdale.
I miss those days. Now it's creepy when I show up. All right. So on that note, Tinley Park. All right. So last weekend was Tinley. Yeah, I know. What were your immediate feelings on it, Chris?
You
messed
at the
up.
Beginning or at the end?
You responded to Chris.
Oh, dang it! Sorry.
Okay, let's okay, let's what beginning and end. Just give it to me. What do you got?
Okay, so beginning got set up. I was excited to be there. There's only certain people I only see at Tinley, people that travel from different places and set up. So excited for that part. After the weekend, like I felt really good. We had a really great weekend. Lots of good conversation. Had some good friends vending with us at the booth at Ghost Constrictors and 1515 companies there with Zach and Rose. So that was awesome. Having them enjoy that Tinley experience and on that part. So that was a really good time there. So yeah, no, it was excited to be there. And then whether it was selling lychees or having great conversations or people coming by and coming and checking, like putting the legwork out early and going and seeing friends at different tables and different booths and stuff like that is challenging at times, but it's important networking and stuff like that. So it was kind of cool. Like I was looking back at my pictures that I posted on onto my story and in the video collage I kind of made, which really helped after my hard Monday. I was looking back at that and enjoying those selfies and pictures and stuff like that. That a lot of the pictures I took were at my booth. So it meant a lot that people wanted to come search me out and come over to our booth and stop by. And so grabbing selfies there instead of it, not that I don't want to grab selfies at someone else's booth, but in like years past, like a lot of my pictures at the show are taking place at my booth, which I think is really cool and really special. So
I love that. And I think it says a lot as well because you aren't exactly in prime real estate at Tinley, right? You are basically over with Jon Snow at the wall.
I'm like I joked around this year. I don't think I've ever called it that. Like I was the north, the last row.
Yeah.
I'm in the Union section of Tinley. Like we are the Free State.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I think I called it District 13, and that felt kind of bad.
Yeah,
no, it's an interesting. I'm happy to be in there. Like
of course, absolutely
having a space in there. Like that's great. I don't know how you go about moving closer and all that exciting stuff. And I'm in between now. Like I've started to kind of build my brand and build my locate. Like people kind of knew where to go find me. But obviously if you don't know where to find me at, or like, oh, I don't know where the last row of the show is at, and that's hard for you to run into a wall and then walk up a little bit, I understand. But maybe you see a really good deal you're walking by, because there are several other breeders of my that are good friends in competition and stuff like that. You have to pass to get to me. And so it means a lot when someone actually makes it that far and sees it. I will say in spring, I don't remember if they did it both days, but I think they did it both days. They let people in that door. Which makes it nice since I do have kids. It's easier for my kids to go out that door and go to the restroom, which is nice. I enjoy that. And if there's ever any type of emergency at that place, I know at least I'm getting out of there.
Yeah, that's true.
Y'all, because y'all are in the middle of the show.
It's game over for us. Yeah, literally just.
But yeah, and so then I said something to Potter on Saturday night at the auction, and Sunday morning when they opened the doors, people came right through that section again.
Nice, that's cool.
I'll make sure I remind him that every time. So,
yeah, that's great, man.
Yeah, and I don't know if it helps that Bob moved.
Yes,
he's like a touchdown throw away from me now.
Yeah.
Not that all Python people are lychee people, but at least more people heading that way and searching for their tables and stuff like that. Maybe, I don't know. So
yeah, I mean, I think just more attention towards that end in general is a good thing. You're right. And even when like Chase and I or Molly and I or whoever, like when we go wander the show, like it takes a concerted effort to make it down there.
It does. Like you have to put your head down and go.
Yeah.
That's the toughest part is like you want to talk to everybody, but it's so hard to even just get away from our table to the show.
You leave your table and you get one or two rows over, and it happens to me when I would leave and try to go see you guys during the shows or something like that in previous Tinleys. like I would get a little bit and someone would stop and I'd talk to them for, 10, 15 minutes. And I'm like, I probably should get back here. Like I need to get back to the table, you know, and stuff like that. So that makes it a little challenging at times. And so it's who was I talking to? Like, I was walking with my friend Zach and he was just going. I got stopped. I'm like, man, he is way up there, dude. I'm like, I needed like a mask to walk around this place sometimes, or like something to cover it all up. And
reptile people love the Midwestern goodbye. It's
buddy,
it's never happening,
buddy. It's become a running joke at our table where I'll be like, I got to go to the bathroom, and then like I'll return 45 minutes later, and I'm like, I haven't gone to the bathroom yet, and they're like, are you kidding me? Yes. And I'm like, guys, I made it 4 feet, and 17 people got talked to. I'm sorry. Yeah. Like I'll be back in 3 hours. Just
or you called me. You called me. Was that Sunday morning?
Sunday morning, yeah.
Yeah. You called, like I was talking to some people and I was getting ready to head back into I was like, so I'm at the north end of the show. For me to get up front, the quickest way for me is to walk back out in the aisle and walk to the front of the show out in the lobby. And so I'd walked that way to go up and I was getting ready to leave. Sorry. And I was like, I'm going to walk back through the show and take the long way and say hi to some people. And I looked down on my phone. It's Patrick calling. I was like, well, I'm about to walk by his booth. And I was finishing up a conversation with some people. And I answered. He goes, don't move. I am heading your way. I'm like, okay, I'll stay right here.
I was just like, I had literally sprinted down to the North 40 so I could say bye to Chris because I was leaving soon. I had ignored so many people. Like I'm sprinting. They're like, Patrick, I'm like, I've got a thing to do. Goodbye. And then I was like, where's Chris? And Chris's lady friend says,
man, my wife. Come on now.
Lady friend is like, he's up at the front. And I was like, okay, I'll be back to say goodbye as well. I got to go get him though. And so I'm like sprinting, all but like briskly walking. Let's call it what it was. I was briskly walking towards the front and I see Chris like starting to creep inside and I'm just like, no, sir. No, sir. Do not leave me. I'm not doing another lap around this whole show.
You do not pass go. You do not get $200.
That's it, man. That's it. So
Charlie just made a great point that Chimera was lucky that they were right next to Molly's company's booth.
Thank you,
Charlie. I needed that.
we were lucky that we were next to Molly's booth. Do you know what I really also appreciated from Tinley? Okay, there's 2 parts here. First, I really need to emphasize, I did not ask people to harass Molly during the entire show. I'm not specifically upset about it, but
a free gift.
Guys, it verged on excessive. I will be honest. Like, there were probably 50 individual people that made the same joke about, oh, Molly, what are you doing behind Canova's booth? I didn't ask for that. I thought the first 10 were funny. The next 40 were also funny, but excessive. So we had that.
Paid me too.
And then I really appreciate it being Molly's company, though, because I think that's fair. I think I was told she was brought in to actually run the company. So that checks out.
She really came in and elevated. I heard my position's now getting taken. So
I was going to say, do you feel like you're getting pushed out, Chase?
Buddy, hey, if it's her company she's running now, yeah, it hurts.
She's going to get rid of you real quick, let me tell you. She also, I'll warn you, likes to make up her own titles. Within 3 days of working for us, she was the chief sales officer. We didn't even know we had that role available.
Yeah, she kept letting me know. Like it felt like her role changed every other week with you. Yeah. Like this is what I feel right now. This is what I am.
She was head of HR for a while, but then that was weird because then I would, she'd have to complain to HR, but she's like, HR doesn't seem to care, and I'm like, you're in charge, so here we are.
Send me that updated resume. I just want to see these jobs.
She was
impressive list.
It's impressive. We're very loose with job titles at Aura, so
we're not sure how she's 24, but somehow has the skill set of like a 70-year-old business.
So
Well,
what
Molly, if you were
also
35, I'd vote for you for president. So.
Oh, buddy, let me tell you know what? We'll figure it out just for the 24.
Gosh, you guys are doing the election episode, right? You doing one like hotline call-ins? We're getting really close.
Oh, yes. That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, buddy.
We are getting really close.
We are getting uncomfortably close. Yeah, we're gonna do an election episode. Yeah. I don't know how this is gonna go.
I mean, I'm gonna be up all night anyway, so we might as well make it on a Tuesday instead of a Thursday.
Oh my god. Okay, let's do it. Real fast, the other thing with Molly, I didn't realize how many people didn't know that Molly was working for Canova now, because literally Tuesday I got no less than 8 to 9 phone calls asking, so when did Molly stop working for y'all? And that was so much fun to have that conversation.
Did you tell him you didn't know she was like a Soviet Union spy?
You know what? I should have done that. I should have been like, wait, Molly's not working for me? What are you talking about?
Yeah,
this is
brought
awkward.
That book of breeding plans. And I knew. Guys,
I did have the weirdest dream ever Friday night. Yeah, I know. And Molly had somehow stolen all of my aura secrets. Not that I have any. She had stolen them all, and she had given them to Justin and like absolutely betrayed me. And so I don't know if that's my subconscious coming out somewhere or what's going on, but please don't crush me.
That's hilarious. So you say aura, and I think like of like big like champagne bottles coming out and like little lighters and all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Aura. So
you know what? We can make that happen at March Tinley.
When you set up at a show,
yeah,
definitely let me be a bottle girl. I will definitely rock the shit out of that.
Buddy, say less. We got you. We got you. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So Tinley was a mixed bag for Andre and I. We sold one snake, and that is not even like close to the worst we've ever done. Like that was absolutely shockingly bad, and it's been a lot of wondering what went wrong. I think we just brought the wrong stuff apparently. So sales
spiders, like ball pythons, or like
I brought ball pythons. That was the problem. But interestingly enough, like I actually felt like it was one of the best shows I'd been to in years. The networking was fantastic. Like the people, the energy of the people that were there was great. So it's a very mixed bag for me. The sales obviously weren't great. I mean, they were terrible. But it was like the epitome of like, you're there for marketing, right?
Right. That's how I do it. Like I'm there, have the space, being seen by people coming to the show, being regularly seen by people who have been to the show, and like, oh, this gal's been here several times. I know this person and stuff like that. So yeah, completely. The sales are great and the sales are nice. But like the big piece of it is like it's for something bigger. So
yeah, and we sold a snake today that was from somebody at Tinley that saw it and they followed up. So like the sales follow, right? Like that's part of it too. You have the Tinley Park boom. Not everybody can be Canova. I get it. I mean, Chase.
That's the cool thing about shows though, where I try to tell a lot of newer people starting to vend, like it's so hard for people to make their mind up what they want while they're in the moment. And then they get to go home, they think about it, and they're like, you know what?
Yeah.
That guy stood out to me. I want to call him. I want to buy that snake. And then they make most of their sales after the show. So I always try, like anyone that's always discouraged from a show, don't be, because the sales are everything that follows. Just market yourself. Like that's kind of the cool thing for shows for us. Like we just like to go show stuff that people have seen on YouTube videos, cool stuff we've produced.
Unless it's like Friday night, you don't show anybody nothing.
That's true.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've got to keep everyone,
Chris.
What I brought.
I remember the first time I went to it. It was the April of 2021, so like the first NERBC after COVID, and I'm like, where are there snakes at? Like,
where are there snakes?
They're like a big deal. Where are these snakes at? Like,
Yeah.
They sell them all already or something?
Invisibles, Chris.
Invisibles.
I saw some of those in Charlotte. They were for sale.
Yeah, you did. Definitely had one of those on display.
I asked somebody and they're like, oh, they set them all out Saturday morning. So it's like a big thing. I'm like, oh, dang. Like, that's legit. Okay. I dig that. All right.
I was super excited to get to use the clutch labels for shows because there's an actual in clutch. There's a shows tab we can hit now. So you can print out the labels for all your animals with the prices marked on your labels.
Oh, that's nice.
So I was actually really excited. Not have to write anything on the tubs or on the acrylics and be able to just print that out right there at the show and put fresh labels on with prices and everything. So it's always cool now that our collection's completely integrated into the software. So I really love being able to see how I'm managing it, like the collection at home, and then being able to use it in like real world application, even at shows.
Yeah.
So I was pretty stoked about that.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, I think too, something that I've always kind of thought about but didn't fully appreciate till this Tinley, especially if you only have like one table to set up. You're having to kind of guess what people want, right? Like especially if you're a bigger company that has a large selection. So for us, it's not quite to y'all's extent, but like we work basically every project. Yeah. And so you got to really pick and choose, right? And so that's why I've told people that in the before, where you're trying to guess what people are doing and what they want for that show. And that's where, like, I think honestly for some of this, for this show, what Patrick gave me the bird before he walked. Whatever. Oh, I can't even with bird? You. Yeah, whatever. You know what, Molly? Wow. Just wow. It's good stuff. I love it. Head of HR, CSO, head of social media, VP of Aura. All of those are accurate. Those are all actual positions she held at one point or another in our company.
Oh my God, who is she? George Soros?
Yeah, basically. Anyway, yeah. So like, I think trying to guess what people want sometimes can be tough. And so I think that's the other part, Chase, is like not getting discouraged because maybe you just didn't have what people were looking for in that moment. That doesn't mean they're bad animals. It doesn't mean that like you're bad at this. Like you might be, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's why you're bad at this. Like there's options.
Or like something was off. Like what kind of lighting are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you pull up banner? Are you big banner? Are you banner? Are you banner that hangs on top next to like you use hooks and hang it on the pipe and drape?
Are
and
you
stuff like
sitting
that?
or standing? Are you talking to people as they walk past?
Yeah, I'm doing this number, you know.
Are you giving away free Chinese food? Maybe that's it. I didn't give enough free Chinese food away.
You just bring a box of crab rangoons to the next show. Just
don't tell Josh; he'll be over there.
Yeah, I was about to say that could get unruly real quick.
I did stop by and drop one off with him after I left your booth with some crab rangoons. I'm like,
I love that so much. That's so good. I love that.
Like, here you go, Goonfather. Have one.
I love it. I do feel like the foot traffic was really down at this show.
Yes, yeah. Like Saturday almost felt like a Sunday morning kind of thing.
Yeah,
I would agree because like obviously the aisles. Ooh, I forgot about this.
You know what? I gave Molly the login code to get in here, and I'm starting to wonder whether I should have done that or not.
She's not abusing that power at all.
Like, what's going on?
That's hilarious.
Well, we'll just see how much longer this continues.
Like, our aisle's not that. We have Freedom Breeder across from us a little bit.
Yeah.
So like they kind of stick out a little bit. And so it makes that aisle a little tight sometimes. I don't remember looking up at any point and being like, oh man, it's like jam packed out there, like shoulder to shoulder or anything on that point. I will say that I was a little annoyed because I got there Friday morning and they had to move our whole section forward like the width of like a computer and a half because supposedly there wasn't enough room in the back. And one person walked off and let another person do. We kind of helped out. And so I was there at like 9:15. And so I waited. We did that. I was like, I'm not going to put anything on the table. Let's get this done. And then I'll set everything up. So that finishes up at just before like 11 or so of moving it because the pipe and drape fell over and knocked our banner over. Obviously didn't break.
Oh my God. Like yeah.
And so reach outs at the front of our thing. They show up and they hear what happened, and they're like, "Well, there's not enough room up here." And so then other person comes back that said we need to move it. Well, they moved it too far. We moved it 15 inches. Like, so then they had to move it back. And I'm like, you know what, guys? I'm putting my stuff on the table because I've been here 2 hours already.
Yeah.
I should have like stuff on the table. So if you need to move my table, you need to find some people and we can lift my table up and move them, because I'm tired of sitting here and waiting. I drove up Thursday night, got a hotel so I could be here at 9 o'clock in the morning to
set up,
have this done, out of the way. I can network Friday, because I don't really make it. I don't think I've ever sold anything except for maybe a bag of Pangea on Friday, which is no biggie to me. But it's easier for me to go talk to people at that time and say hi to people that I only see there and stuff like that. But I was kind of super annoyed, and then I felt bad for the people next to us, because it's important to get there early, because then you can kind of space your stuff out or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
The people next to me, they got jobbed. Like, we took down the little partition thing, and we've known each other the last 3.5 years or whatever. But if we didn't take down the partition thing, there's no way they would have been able to get to their booth.
Ugh.
Like,
yeah, that's tough. That's tough. But it down in District 13, man. It's like the fucking Hunger Games, literally. It's good. It's good. Oh my God. Canova owns everything. Justin may start watching. What do you guys think?
I was gonna ask about that. I'm glad somebody brought that up.
I was gonna say I saw just Facebook.
Do we want to do the last 15 minutes just on that? Because I feel like there's feelings all around.
There feels like there's a lot of fifis going on about that. Yeah,
I took some amazing screenshots.
I hate it. I don't go.
Last 15 minutes, you're jumping. We still got. You're jumping the gun.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, did nobody tell you we only do an hour now?
We're jumping the gun. We're at 18 minutes.
Are we? I don't think so. You should do that math again. It's 14 now.
Oh. Well, my thing says we've been live. Oh, we're ending. Oh, you're cutting me off. I see.
Anyway, I'm sorry. You're right. No, you get some bonus time. That's fair. Anyway, normally when I go to the reptile breeding conference, I don't expect to go to a mammal section. Yeah, I don't know. I don't love it, but I also don't really know if like it's going to change that much for me, right? Like, I don't think I have any reason to really be upset over it. I just, as long as it doesn't prevent more reptile people from coming in, I don't care. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, as long as there's not a huge waiting list of actual reptile people trying to get a table.
Right. Like,
I understand they're trying to get more foot traffic in that venue right now, because it is a new venue. It's kind of in a tough space, I've heard, because I've not been there yet.
Yeah.
So
I can get it from that side. Yeah, and I'll most likely be doing that again in the spring.
Yeah, could you sneak me into a bag or something?
You know what? I think I'm gonna have to do some live streams at some of the places.
Dude, totally.
This coming time. Yeah.
Of course, right? Yeah.
But I get it. I get it from one standpoint, but I do also understand why the reptile people are kind of upset if they've been waiting to get a table forever.
Yeah. If they did this at Tinley, I would literally go in and just set the whole show on fire. So Potter, just know now, I'm not lying. No mammals at Tinley, please. Dearly. But we love you. Yeah. I don't think waiting lists are an issue at Dallas. And they have a lot of space there. So I get it. You're trying to bring more people in. It did feel weird.
Did you go to the fall show in Dallas? Like, did you go hang out with Patrick? Okay.
No, I only went to spring.
Yeah, so. See, I was at the spring one, and then I had to choose between two different shows, and I chose a smaller room show over. Yeah.
So I was told that, so for the people that went in spring Dallas, there were basically two sections to this area. There was the section we had the show in, and then right next to it was this massive warehouse space, like huge.
It was ridiculously big.
Yeah,
I remember peeking in there on Friday during setup.
Right,
it's huge.
So I was told that's where the show was in the fall. Yes. And so if that's the case, I mean, there's there's space for every reptile breeder on the planet. Plus,
and I heard it was nice that aisle widths were, nice better, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, having bigger aisles nobody's accounting expert on people through the door.
Sure.
Bigger aisles are going to lead to people thinking there's less people, and smaller aisles are going to lead to people thinking there's more people.
Right.
At the Charlotte, I don't know if you were there in the evening in Charlotte. There was like this little Bojangles Coliseum next door.
Yeah.
There was like a church event going on.
Yes, there was.
I looked up the capacity of that Coliseum. It was like 17,000 people.
Right.
That was sometimes they say there's like 30,000 people at a show. There is no way that's ever accurate, because 17,000 people put that to shame. Like there was like massive crowd lines of people going into this Coliseum thing. That was absolutely absurd.
The only show that I've ever been to where I would believe like 15,000 plus was the Pomona Super Show.
I would agree with you on that.
That's the only, and that one literally is like huge lanes, just obscenely packed with people. There is no lack of space in Dallas. I heard it might have helped with big snake stuff from the city. Yeah, maybe. I like I said, I as long as reptiles are not being limited, I don't care. I mean, you get to see more stuff, that's fine. It's if reptiles start getting limited, then it's going to be a thing. But
no, I thought it was funny. Someone in a comment on a post that when they shared it said, well, you better go read your rules or whatever, because it says no mammal sales. And then whoever runs the page said, well, we better go change that rule.
I saw that. I saw that comment.
I'm like, that's hilarious. Screenshot.
Yeah, that was such quality content, and they owned it, right? They're just like, we can just change the rules. It's not an issue, guys.
I am the boss of this, so I can't change
boss.
The rules. Thanks for pointing that out, boss.
The hardest flex of all. That was the rule.
From my end, I guess the hardest point is I don't know if I want to set up at a table or not. Like talking back and forth and trying to figure out, like, do I go down there and just hang out and make it a networking event on that end? Or do I set up do one table and kind of see how that goes? And on that part, I know it said you're not selling dogs, but it'd be like dogs and cats can't be sold, but it's like accessories or whatever.
Yeah.
And are there going to be live cats and dogs there? Are there going to be barking dogs? Like, I really don't want to listen to someone's dog bark or little puppies. And
buddy, you would not have liked our row at Tinley. Jesus, there were so many
Sunday night. No.
Oh my God, Chase and Molly and their parents were so nice to let my wife and I stay at their house Sunday night, and my dogs are monsters, is all I can say. Guys, I'm sorry. Thoughts and prayers.
There were some violent wiener dogs, which is funny because they were so quiet and good the whole time.
Until they got,
as soon as they heard my parents' dog, all bets were off.
It was so much anger. But Chris, it's not a secret. I don't like vending to begin with. I much rather bring my suitcase, wander the show, talk to people, network. Everyone knows that. So for me, it's even less of a decision at this point. I'm not vending, and I wasn't. Your dogs are menaces to society. That's true. They are. I wonder how many more people though are going to start making some of those decisions based on, other species that are at the shows, right? Especially me.
Does this turn into like them wanting to have like people from Animal Con show up there? On that, because it's obviously Animal Con is a bigger section of all sorts of animals. So then like you're also pulling them a month earlier and also in the spring possibly to do. Because have either of you been to Animal Con or anything like that?
No, I've not.
I have not been to Animal Con.
Yeah, neither have I. And so I was how the flyer looked when I saw it on Sunday when it posted, and it just kind of like, oh, that's interesting, so just stuff that kind of rattled through the brain.
I thought about this. So we have the Richmond Convention Center right down the road, and so we go to a lot of conventions for people watching because there's nothing better in life. And something that I noticed a lot of different like collectible conventions and pin conventions, stuff like that, they don't just have the show, right? They also have the section where like they have influencers and like famous people, whatever. I wonder, like, doing something like that, even where you kind of like, you're talking about combining Animal Con a little bit with like the NARBC, to where you are, right? You have those influencers and you have real panels and stuff like that. Right. I think it could be interesting. So it's another avenue of things that maybe will change. Oh, Chase doesn't like it.
No, I mean, I think it could be. But we've definitely had panels before where like there was, really great speakers. And then I felt bad because like no one showed up because everyone was just so into the show. Because if you don't have like a draw like Snake Discovery, I feel like it's gonna be pretty few and far between on how well panels like I'll say
do.
Because I feel like Tinley's like such a mecca to be there.
Yeah, but I think Chase, like sales. So like when I think about like Collecticon, when I went, like they have panels, right? They have like 4 or 5 actual panels.
Oh yeah.
You don't get necessarily a huge crowd for each one, right? Like, God, I'm gonna be such a nerd here. But like the Sailor Moon panel got like 6 people, right? The Pokemon panel had like 57 people, and like the Yu-Gi-Oh panel had equal numbers, right? So like there's clearly like tiers. You would see the same stuff, right? Like obviously Snake Discovery would just get, assaulted, and then like you would kind of tear down from there, right? But I feel like people like Cusco or Dov or Dov, even Loli Canova. I feel like it's not going to be like, tens of people. It may just be a couple, but against balls, that's good stuff. But I think it's still worthwhile having, right? And then it also is incumbent on the people that are going to be a part of the panels to really advertise and make sure people know, like, hey, like we're going to be doing a panel at this time.
Yeah.
Chris, you gave a talk at Charlotte, right?
So no, yes, I did. I did do Charlotte. Thanks for So
the man's got a busy schedule. Okay.
We'll back up, dude. It's been like, I'm so glad Tinley's over because it's been like, well, first off, like hopefully everybody's recouping all that stuff. Like through Helen that came through, like your wife's work.
Yeah.
Very beautiful. We talked about the river that floods next to it. I was like, shit, it hasn't happened in a long time. And then like
here it is.
Days later, like I'm seeing aftermath pictures and stuff, but like I can't express like literally drove 40 home through Asheville and all that stuff. Like what would I have done if I was out there? Like if Bob's show and Nick and Troy's show was between that week or whatever. Like I have no idea. Like absolutely crazy. But yeah, so I gave a talk in Denver. It was my first time doing a talk at a show in the spring. I would say there was probably 50 to 60 people in the room. Just talk Lucianis and stuff like that.
That's a big group. That's great.
It was super cool. I was very excited about it. I was like, wow, like sweet. The fall show, things kind of got moved around and we were outside. And so I think that's hard to traffic people outside to make that happen in like this tent area they had. And there was probably maybe, I'd say 10 to 15 kind of in and out. And
still not bad.
The Charlotte show, some little family got the best show of their life because it was them 4, my wife, and another vendor that came over to sit down, and then 2 vendors came and sat down. And so I focused on them because obviously I wanted them to have a really cool experience on that part.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this is a little rough, but Sunday was a little rough at the show. On that part of it. But I'm not, I would do it if Troy and Nick asked me to do it again and stuff like that. I would gladly do it. Cause somebody walking by my table and go, what's that? Well, I'm not selling you anything. So come have a seat in the back and I'll learn you.
Yeah, absolutely. I also wonder, like, NARBC used to do talks years ago. I gave one back in like 2012. Jesus, forever ago. Yeah, a long time ago. On ball python genetics and like genotyping and genetic testing.
Oh, like weird. Normals and spiders.
Yeah, exactly. It's weird how things have changed. But I wonder too if because it's not the norm, like when my wife and I go to like Comic Con or Collecticon, like the first thing we look at are the panel discussions, right? And so I wonder if that's kind of a thing too. And maybe now that snake discovery is at every NARBC, that can become more of a thing, right? Where it's like we start having the panel discussions to where it's like, oh, like, okay, people are going to come in and they're going to look and see who's talking or what species are being covered or all that good stuff. Are they still talking about snakes? Maybe. Who knows? So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if like talks will ever really take off. I think they're cool. I think sometimes
I'm interested how well they're attended at Animal Con.
Yeah.
They have a bunch of those things going on. I'm interested how, since that's, that type of event or whatever. I'm curious as how well that's. Maybe I'll ask Vanessa. I saw Vanessa from USARC. She was there. So maybe if I see her in St. Louis, I'll ask her on that part of it. Because that's.
I do wonder too if like maybe like, reptile breeders sometimes get a little into the weeds in their species talk, right? They get way too nerdy. Yeah. And I think sometimes like people need to understand their audience actually doesn't care about most of that. Like give some fun stories, give some educational stuff, but like make it fun and entertaining. And that'll go so much further. So
definitely act like you're talking to a bunch of 5 and 6 year olds.
Yes, because you are.
Don't let them gloss over. Once they gloss over, no,
you gotta keep them captivated.
I love it.
Actually, might learn something.
Yeah, maybe you never know.
Share it, show it, all that fun stuff. Yeah, no.
Yeah. So I think all around Tinley was good for everyone. It sounds like, aside from the dogs being an issue and Molly being mildly slandered and harassed at the show.
Well, she's bullying in the comments, so she's going hard tonight.
I'm Good.
Did you guys think that space at the auction would go for more or less than what it sold for?
Less. Okay. Caveat. Yeah. So how do I say this? I think it was worth less. I'm not surprised for the price it went for because I knew who was involved, and one of the people bidding asked me what I thought it was worth, and I told them $5,000, but it's going to go for more because you're going to get stupid. And that's what happened.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, I had heard rumors that someone was going to possibly spend double what it went for.
Yeah. I was also told that, which is why the bidding stopped at 10. So I mean, if nothing else, I think it should show everybody like there's your Tinley real estate has some real value at this point.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, if a table in that section, which is like one step away from Jon Snow, is selling for $10K, like
Ball Python Road.
Yeah, Daenerys Targaryen's Iron Throne over here, where Ball Python Row. Hilarious. I mean, those tables might be $40K a piece. Like, it's crazy.
Speaking of a funny thing, I talked to Potter.
Yes.
I asked him what would it be possible if I split my section up instead of having just my one booth there, if I could have like my space on one end and one on another end, so I have like a north and south location or whatever.
Okay, yeah, interesting.
And it was after the auction or whatever, and I was like, hey, what's your thoughts on I take my space and I split it in two or whatnot, and have like a space over here and a space over there, so I'm a single booth, 2 single booths or whatever hanging out in a spot, and so then that allows if you need a group more together, maybe a single booth works out better for you to place. And he's like, well, if you want to do that, I'd be open to it. And I'd just be curious, where it would get placed and the traffic. And I would try to make sure I had the same exact stuff at both or whatever. Or I'd have a Lychee Lowland and Lychee Highland. You have to go over here on this end. That's where all the good stuff's at.
I really like that, Christopher. I really do.
I was thinking about it a couple months ago.
That's a clever approach to because
how does it change?
I think you should do it, man. I like it. I like it a lot.
The only hard part is if I don't like it, how hard is it for me to get my space, get back in the same spot? Oh, hey, I want to try this one time, Potter, to see what it's like. If it doesn't work, can I have this space back?
I think that's a fair conversation to have with him in St. Louis.
He'd be interesting to have that.
I think it's worth having that because also having 2 single booths probably makes space planning a little bit easier for him, trying to double stack people in that row or whatever else.
You can only put so many 2 or 3 spaces into an inline space.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I like it. I actually think that's a cool way to like spread yourself out, and you just have to kind of, you got to make sure that whoever the second person is that's watching the table is, you know, can handle it.
Right. And that's the other thing. So it's me and my wife, and then like our son helps out and stuff like that. So then obviously then that limits like, oh, I have to be here 24/7 basically. If I'm
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're not walking. You're not gonna
Yeah.
No, not walking. That is very true. But I just something silly that I thought of probably a month or so ago, and I was like,
I kind of like it. Yeah, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if Canova split up their 27 tables across the show. That'd be nice.
Not. I'm actually thinking about just taking more.
Yeah, trust me, I can tell. I can tell as they slowly encroach.
Hey, I'm just out here being Thanos.
Hour, by the way.
What's that?
We've reached our hour, by the way.
He's tired of you, Patrick.
He's already over me.
I'm just trying to live by the rules, and you know, like I got my hour, not trying to, you know.
We're fine building the rules for you, but
I got my hour. Wow, that's amazing. All right, we'll finish off with what?
Either you going to St. Louis?
Yeah, I was actually about to say, like, let's finish off with St. Louis. I am. It'll be my first St. Louis.
You're gonna like the venue
and
the hotel.
I think we're sleeping not together, but in the same house together, possibly.
Yeah, we are. I mean, I was told
time possibly ever rooming with Patrick.
Oh, buddy, you are not ready for this.
Oh, you're
an
not
aggressive snuggler.
I'm an aggressive snuggler. It's good.
I like ice cream, as you can see by the thumbnail.
Yeah.
That was at Schaumburg. That was like this place.
So good.
Like, I can't remember. Was it if Troy's still here? Was that like 6 scoops or was that like 9 scoops? I don't remember.
Oh my god!
We went to this place at Schaumburg, and I'm like, I'm getting this, whatever. Well, it's like not like individual scoops. Like they take it over and the scoops like, you know, so many ounces or whatever. So
yeah,
this poor gal I picked like 3 different flavors or something, and she's scooping, and I'm like, this is entirely too big. If you zoom in close enough on that picture I sent, you can see the integrity of the cone is cracking on it already.
Oh my god. Hold on. I'm gonna check this out while we do this. Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah. There's a picture of me and Troy.
Oh, that is hilarious. Like it is.
Like JD took a picture of us. 6,
oh, that's good.
But that's a 6 scoop cone, by the way. Absolutely
that's intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to St. Louis. It's the first time ever. It will be my first outing as officially as Aura. Yeah, so that's gonna be fun.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. And like I said, first time there. I've heard nothing but mediocre things about it, so we'll find out if that's the case.
Dude,
great location.
I like to go to though.
Great venue.
Tompkins by the Lane. I think it's called. It's
okay. All right. I'll check it out. All right, man. I'll check it out.
You'll like it. It'll hit your palate.
Perfect. I think Chase just said I'm a trash panda. That's fine.
I think Chase said also that he's not going to be there by saying that.
Oh, Chase definitely isn't going to be there
because he didn't say, "Hey, we should go here." He's like,
"Yeah,
I like this."
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. So St. Louis, I think, is the last show for me for the year. I'm not going to be going to Kansas City. Sorry, bud.
Okay.
Hopefully. Yeah, hopefully next year. We'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, no pressure.
I
just wanna, it's cool to win friends and stuff coming and stuff like that. So I'm excited for the future possibilities of that.
I love you know what? I keep trying to get Troy and Nick to do a show here in Richmond because our convention center is actually incredible. And I'm gonna give the sales pitch for when they're listening. We have 3 really nice hotels, literally a block away from the venue. So it's all walking distance. We have 3 or 4 large parking garages. Great parking and incredible food everywhere. So it's just a win all around. We should have an AARPE in Richmond. That's all I'm saying. It would be good. But part of that is right. You want people to see your hometown. So I understand, man. Like Kansas City would be fun. So we'll do it one of these days. Yeah.
Yeah. Come have some real barbecue, Mr. I'm from Texas. What's your Eddie Brown's? What is it? Terry Black's?
That's Terry Black's.
Oh my gosh, Terry Black's.
That's so racist.
Yeah.
That's so fucking good. Oh my god. You know what? I'm down for some St. Louis barbecue. I don't hate it at all.
I don't think I've ever had barbecue in St. Louis. I've had
no. Isn't St. Louis and Kansas City barbecue basically the same?
No, I don't think
so. Okay, I thought it was. Okay, Emi. I mean, I'm sorry.
They're probably closer than the Carolinas or like a Texas and stuff.
Well, that's because Carolina barbecue's garbage, but
hot garbage.
This is coming from a person in Texas.
Buddy, there's no reason to mix.
I know you're really close to Carolina. You like the slaw and all that vinegar stuff they do.
So much fucking vinegar. It's like you hate your taste buds.
It's
like come on.
It's like the mustard. I don't like mustard, but you know how you don't shake up mustard, and there's like that drip that comes out of not good stuff. That's the whole barbecue sauce, like that nasty drip.
That is the worst freeze frame for my face the world has ever seen. It's so bad.
I mean, it's working for you.
Is it? Is it? I look like Todd Hoffman from Gold Rush, and it makes me uncomfortable.
Wow,
it's not good. It's not good at all. All right. On Thanks, all of Charlie, these.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. On this horrible note, Christopher, what's the best way for people to get a hold of you?
Like that? I changed it. Did you notice?
I saw it. It made me so happy. Thank you.
The best way to get a hold of me. Let's see. You want to go to Epic Style LLC on Instagram, or if you go to whynotreptiles.com, you can find all my links there as well. Yeah.
I love it.
And so, I'll leave you with this. Troy is supposedly wanting me to rebrand my name, and he said that he would do it, and he'd bring the stuff to a show, and I would have to let him set it up and go as that. What do you guys think of that?
No.
Nope.
No. You can't see the displeasure on my face right now, but know that I do not approve of that.
You know, this freeze frame looks like, what the hell did he just say?
Yeah, no, you know what? That face right there, yeah, that's how I feel about it. Don't do it.
Oh, that's great.
As bad as that face looks, that's how bad of an idea I think it is.
It sounds fun for just a second to see what it is.
Yeah, we all know that it's
at the same time that like I might be like really nervous to see what it is. It might just be Troy stuff with like my hair on top of it.
I was something it's just gonna be Troy's face. Just don't do it.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. Molly uses still frame with her. Unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable. I did find I sent it to the group. I found an old thumbnail where it said Molly was leaving me. It turns out she was giving me signs all along. Chase, what's the best way for people to get a hold of you?
JKRMGR on Instagram and Canova everywhere else.
Perfect. Guys, Aura Reptiles literally everywhere. Please go follow the Morph Market store, Instagram, you know the gig. I don't know next week's guest yet. Someday we'll have a proper schedule, but we will be doing it and somebody.
We are working on it, yes.
It's going to be good. Christopher, thank you so much for hanging out with us today, buddy. I know it was kind of last minute. So
it was great. It was a fitting way it was good. It was fun to come on and like talk Tinley and talk stuff and BS and have some fun, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And
appreciate
I'll see you pretty soon, Patrick. And Chase, I'll see you when you come out to Pomona in January. No, I'm just messing with you. Yeah.
No. I plan on dragging Molly with me. Yeah.
Are you going to Pomona by yourself, Chase? Who are you going with?
Molly.
I said Molly.
Like we're gonna go goof.
Why not just go like in the summertime when we all go?
Hey, why
don't you just come when I go?
Because I want to go to the super show when there's like 5 acres of animals, not just 3 acres.
You don't want to see like a bunch of birds. Like, okay, that's the other thing. Like, they better not like. There's birds allowed at Dallaston, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the summer super show,
it's noisy.
These it's in a whole different building, so I went in there early and I didn't go back because I said, nope, not for my eardrums. But there was like 75 parakeets in like this little tiny cage, and people want to give us crap for how we display animals at a show.
Oh, yeah, it's tough. Yeah, that's fair. We'll discuss Pomona later, Chase. Anyway.
All right.
We'll discuss. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
One more thing. If you're ever, I don't know
the Midwestern goodbye.
Yeah,
I know, right? If you're ever in the Atlanta area, go check out this fantastic place right here, Yellow River Wildlife Sanctuary. Awesome place for really cool otters about spilt this water all over my laptop. Oh,
mediocre employees, but great animals. It's good.
That's my wife, sir.
That's my wife. So you're not wrong. My wife. Okay. On that note, guys, thank y'all so much for joining us. Thank you for hanging out on another Thursday. Everybody that we saw at Tinley, thank you for coming by. The kind words. It's encouraging. We love it. We love y'all. Next Thursday, we're going to have a blast. We'll see you all then. Christopher, stick around for a hot second, and we'll talk in a minute. Love you guys. Bye, everyone.
Night, everybody.